All right. First off, I think nope, we got it. Check my audio. Cool. We are reading me loud and clear, guys. We are into game 2 of the night. Sorry, Monday night LowElo 5v5 shoutcasted broadcast. Once again, I am LawStretch, and I will be bringing you all the analysis and play-by-play for this match between our LowElo community members. Hope you guys have a fantastic time while watching this. Let's go ahead and get these guys lined up. That way we can get a better idea of what we are looking at here. That's about wrong. Drag. There we go. There we go. So, line of scrimmage set up here by blue team. They want to make sure that the red team is not invading on this bottom side of the jungle. Dunk Prophecy and Sandman is the man. Actually, pick up that ward placement by Zero Chaos, so he's not able to get anything done there. Interesting starting items coming out from Dunk Prophecy. He's opting to go that long sword, so he's really looking for that Phoenix stance aggression in the top lane. As you can see, he has leveled up that Tiger stance. He has not procced it, and he has not started camping that lane brush because he does intend on giving Sandman is the man somewhat of a decent leash here over at this Gromp camp. All right. So bottom side blue. All right, bottom lane blue side, making sure that they guard that tri-brush there. Ward dropped in the top side dimple brush just to make sure that there's no one invading on that middle side of the map there. There's that Void who's coming out there, making sure that he's just pushing back So Flame, no fame. Making sure that there's not too much aggression going down. Dunk Prophecy's now going to head to lane. He hasn't burned any mana whatsoever on that leash. I think he has missed one minion death maybe, so he's slightly behind there in terms of XP, but nothing too serious at the moment. Dunkaroni is just trying to get a hit on that ward. He does get one, but can't quite clear it out. Doesn't have the auto attack reset like a Leona there. Ooh, good dodge out of that buckshot. Ooh, Dunk Prophecy actually putting some hurt on Zero Chaos. Zero Chaos has to be very careful here. He does not want to get forced into this lane this early. He's already forced to burn a couple of his potions there. Dunk Prophecy now has that level 2, gets the stun down, one Tiger stance, shield goes through, he's going to flash forward and get one more auto attack, does pick up the kill there, and now that's going to offset this lane a huge amount. I think Dunk Prophecy is probably going to be going either a Trinity Force first, or even more punishing, probably a Brutalizer Ghostblade type build, just playing really heavily off that Tiger stance AD burn. So he's got that 3 minion lead, 1 kill already picked up on that second wave crashing into the lane. And the teleport's already burned from Zero Chaos to get into that top lane once again. Now Dunk Prophecy looks like he's roaming off into the jungle. He is still thirsty. He's like, I didn't lose nearly enough health during that fight. He's going to look for Mr. Entropy. Good ward coverage right there. That's what you need to know to prevent this sort of invade from happening. Dunk Prophecy is not in a position where he can actually do this camp by himself. So now he is just waiting to see if anyone shows up. Wards over the wall. He's looking to come around this back end. Pings are going down that, hey, there's someone in my jungle. Barracan decides to respond, and now Dunk Prophecy is in a position where he needs to just covert ops his way out of this. Oh my goodness. He's still here, looking for the kill on Mr. Entropy. He's gonna find it. He's waiting for him to get nice and low and nice and tasty. Bear Stance comes out. Mr. Entropy forced to flash away, stun on the red buff to keep him off of him. And now Mr. Entropy's in a position where he's gonna have some trouble getting these ganks down that he wants. Typically on a jungle Alistar, you want to have that flash up so you can flash headbutt pulverize someone into the lane and really set up a kill. But now that it's down, forced to be, used to get away there, he doesn't have that gank potential, and he might be forced into a little bit more of a farming role, which he doesn't want to be in right now. A good hook on Sheriff Wyatt, but I'm not sure if the condemn out was needed. There's probably a couple more auto attacks that could have gone down from Wizard, especially since Dunkaroni's was so high health, but they might have been worried with the amount of minions they had stacked up in the lane there. They probably didn't want to go too deep for it. which I can understand. Sheriff Wyatt almost getting hit by another hook, but barely sidestepping it there, and now has the Jano Storm Shield on him, so he will be fairly safe for a bit. Barracon actually doing a fantastic job against our resident Elise mid lane main, So Flame No Fame. Keeping him away, just making sure he keeps his health high. He has not even based yet, and he's keeping up a minion lead, which is very impressive. 0KS just dropping down some of these auto attacks. Does take a turret shot for his troubles there, but he puts up the shield just in time to negate any of the damage. Right, bottom lane. Sheriff Wyatt just maintaining his farm. He does have a decent farm lead here. He's looking at roughly a 15 minion lead, but there is a decent amount of red minions getting ready to crash into this turret, so there will be a little bit of catching up for Vayne to do underneath the tower, but while that's going on, Sheriff Wyatt will be putting on the pressure 100% for sure. Quick draw backwards to just keep the distance there. A lot of Riptides coming out from 0KS that he doesn't take any of these Tiger Stance procs from Dunk Prophecy. Walks into the brush there, gets stunned up. Tiger Stance will take him down a decent amount. It looks like he's taken very, very low. 0KS needs to get out of there as quickly as he can. Can't do it. And just gets bursted down. That's what I'm talking about, guys. If this Nautilus shield gets broken through, there's just no damage follow-up. There's nothing that he can do against this Udyr. And Udyr has not even been back to base. That fight went down with Udyr at no pots. That single long sword that he started out the game with. And 0KS on an additional cloth armor. So the power differential is going to only increase even more. That being said, Dunk Prophecy has left the lane to push in his direction as well. Let's take a look at these minions real quick. These minions are going to crash into this turret. Then hopefully the next minion wave will be timed well enough so that they actually catch it and they don't go too far forward. But either way, if he can set up a freeze there, he can set up multiple more kills on this Nautilus. Alright, mid lane. Another Void Ooze coming out to just keep So Flame No Fame away. Good living artillery lands there. It's not chunking too much. He's just trying to build up that tier and hit that power spike once he gets that Seraph's Embrace, I think, done. Archangel's Staff. I was like, Angel's Embrace? No, it's something else. Alright, Dunk Prophecy up at the top lane, looking like he wants to go that Black Cleaver build, so he's looking to shred all of, or 50% of 0KS's armor with just one Tiger Stance proc. Once again, cuts through that shield immediately, looks for the Bear Stun, gets it, walks in front, now he's going to keep getting auto attacks down, another Tiger Stance goes through, hook onto the wall, might save his life here, slow goes through, ignite goes down, but it's going to be too much damage, and another kill goes down from Dunk Prophecy. Dunk Prophecy, once again, I told you guys, you need to make sure that if you see a lane matchup like this that's just mismatched in terms of sheer damage, you gotta get your jungler up there, but Dunk Prophecy pretty much guaranteed his own lane by making that jungle invade happen after that first kill. Sheriff White dashes forward, gets the kill before the Condemn goes down, Box goes down, and will pick up the kill. Dunkaroo is getting that last hit there. Well done, well played. Good kill trades all around on the bot lane, but it looks like blue team will come out ahead on that one. Dunk Prophecy looking like he's just going to burst down this top lane turret at 8:30. Not even going to set it so he can keep farming this Nautilus. He is a merciful god. And he will not get over. Looking to just create as much pressure top lane as possible. Mr. Entropy in the jungle has gotten that Stalker's Blade, so he's looking like he wants to set up these ganks. He goes boots next. I'm not sure if that's what you want to do here. Honestly, he needs to get this jungle item finished and get that power spike that he's looking for pretty much as quickly as possible here. He's got to become relevant in his own fights before he can be worried about getting to locations of other people. So Flame No Fame goes in on Barracon once again. Barrier gets popped to keep himself alive after, burning that flash to get away from that hook. So he's got both Summoners down. That's going to be a good setup for the next gank on for Sandman is the man. Both junglers not really having too much of a presence at before the 9:30 mark, but they're starting to get to the point where they're a little bit antsy and they want to brawl each other. Void Ooze goes down. Barracon might be able to actually get that living artillery down. Kill comes out there. Barracon picking that one up as the Cocoon missed before So Flame No Fame flashed in. 0KS getting the last hit with the hook on that anchor toss there. The Hurricane and Sheriff Wyatt looking like they want to kind of set up a dive here. Sheriff throws out the buckshot. They take a little bit of damage for their trouble, so if they wanted to go for that, they just needed to go for it, but they were once again afraid of that Vayne stealth. You can never be too cautious when it comes to that Vayne stealth. You got to get the pink wards down, sweepers help, whatever it takes to make sure you can keep eyes on her when she pops that ulti, because it's a huge amount of damage, and she gets to pick the auto attacks if you don't have vision. Alright, so we're going back up to top lane. It looks like Dunk Prophecy is looking for yet another kill on 0KS. Goes in, Tiger stances up, looking for the Barret stance, gets the stun, walks in front of him, turtle stance. Oh man, the disrespect goes through, looking for that additional movement speed. He just bursts him down for most of his health there. 0KS once again forced to go back to base. He's got the armor built up, but soon enough it's not going to mean nearly anything because the Black Cleaver's going to shred it all away. And he doesn't have any health to really back it up. So it's going to be very, very difficult for him to do anything against this Udyr if he doesn't get some significant gold somewhere else. He's done a fantastic job of keeping up in terms of farm, I will say that, but Dunk Prophecy is just being a menace all around this map. Pink Ward getting killed here by Dunk. It looks like the red team's going to collapse on his position, but they all need to be careful here. If the blue team does respond as well, red cannot win this 3v3. Blue is just a little bit too strong for them in that small skirmish situation. They've got the CC advantage, they've got the damage burst advantage. Ulti comes out from Sandman as the man. Void Ooze goes down on to Sandman as the man. And Living Artillery picks up the kill there. This Kog'Maw's actually got the potential to carry this fight. Mr. Entropy hasn't gone down yet. Ignite actually cleans up the kill there. More Living Artillery from Barricon onto So Flame No Fame. He ends up repelling to a ward to get out of that. And Hook lands on the bottom lane. Sheriff Wyatt is actually flayed in along with an Hurricane. He throws out the buckshot and gets some good damage on Dunk Bruni's good. Smokescreen goes down on Wizard to prevent the rest of that fight as well, and even though blue team was the one to lend that hook, red team gets out with minimal damage done. Bottom lane hook goes through, Sheriff White taking a few auto attacks, another double flay goes down, good knockup from that tornado. The focus targeting for the Hurricane is really on point here, just making sure that Wizard does not feel comfortable trying to walk forward and get the auto attacks down onto Sheriff Wyatt. Sheriff Wyatt does have his ulti up, but he doesn't quite have enough mana to actually use it on somebody. So that might have been enough to save Wizard's life in that fight. He does have heal up, but you gotta have that twitch reaction time if you're going to save your life from that collateral damage burst. Exhaust goes down to Sheriff Wyatt. Once again, a good knockup from the Hurricane who denies one of the auto attacks. A TP going through here. Nautilus is going to join this fight. 0KS looking for a target. Turns around and finds Wizard. It looks like Sheriff Wyatt trying to pick up the kill here. Good ulti from Nautilus will knock it up and allow Sheriff Wyatt to last hit it. And now they're looking for a potential kill on Sandman. Good snare in place is going to keep him in there a little bit longer. Slow from the Hurricane's actually going to slow him down just enough for the anchor toss. They pick up the kill. The Hurricane's going to be the one to get that one. Now has red buff. And I think red team might be in a position where they can go and set themselves up for a dragon, but I don't know if they all feel comfortable staying there. A little proper tank rotating there, and they would be fine, but it looks like they're just going to reset it, get their health bars up, and get ready to push maybe for that dragon afterwards. Alright, so let's take a look at the gold lines here. Right now, once again, highest gold in the game is nearly caught up to by Barricon. Once again, doing a fantastic job in this match. Pretty much on par with Sheriff Wyatt in the bottom lane. Sheriff Wyatt having a few more last hits, I believe. Actually, no. Barricon taken very low. So Flame No Fame looking for the repel. Finds it. Can't quite close the gap. Throws down the ignite. That's just going to be enough to pick up that kill. And no punishment there as the Lantern gets grabbed and So Flame No Fame just dashes right out of that one. Mid lane turret now under fire as 4 members from blue team show up and start auto attacking it. Red team really needs to respond here because now their inner turret in mid lane is going to possibly get some damage down on it as well if they choose to push up again. Actually, it looks like they're just going to get that outer. They're going to run out of minion waves before they can get up there. Sheriff Wyatt threatening Wizard with his positioning. How do I get signed up for this? You two guys in the chat, if you want to join in on the next one, get ready. What you can do is you can go to your client and join the LowElo chat room. That's just LOWELO. That's the name of our little community we've got going on here. When I get ready to set up the next game, we'll go ahead and invite you guys into that. And then it's pretty much open for anyone, is the bottom line. Just be in the LowElo chat room and ask to play when I start looking for people. And then I'll get you guys in here if you're new. Alright, Nurricane looking to set up some sort of slow here. She does have that red buff still. Can't quite close the gap, though. Looks like she's just going to let him go. 0KS looking for the hook on the Sandman? No? What? Sandman just goes free there. I'm not sure why. Alright, so red team going to force down this middle lane turret. Red team actually in a decent gold lead, despite the differential that there is in top lane. Top lane with a 1k gold lead at the 15-minute mark, so a pretty large lead. It looks like Dunk Prophecy has that Black Cleaver finished up. What he looks like he's going for next is going to be a Righteous Glory to help him just get into these fights a bit better. Mr. Entropy ends up knocking that chicken over the wall. Dunkarinos is just going to enjoy that for himself. Alright, so resetting a little bit here, gold lead is decently tight, roughly 1k, turrets matched up, 1 dragon lead in favor of blue team, and 1 kill lead in favor of blue team, yet the gold lead still remains in red team's favor, and that's coming out from that differential in the mid lane and bottom lane. Look at these look at these farm differences here, roughly 40 farm for each. That's right, guys. You just need to join the chat room for LowElo, and once we get the next game rolling, or, you know, once we start recruiting for the next game, we'll look for your names. Alright, so blue team looking to put some pressure a little bit down the mid lane here. That Void Ooze is chunking right now. They've got to be very careful to dodge that out because he's got that Luden's Echo now, so a little bit of additional damage splash can actually really add up very, very quickly. Mr. Entropy caught out in the middle of 3 blue team members. Hook comes out, doesn't land on him though. That might allow him to walk free. Ulti comes out from Sandman as the man. On to Mr. Entropy. They're actually guarding that lantern very well. Vi goes down in this fight. And Mr. Entropy is the one to pick up that kill. He's got that Runeglaive enchant, so he looks like he's going with some sort of AP Alistar jungle build. There's bank people in the chat, though. Well, not everyone who's in the chat is looking to play on stream. Don't worry about it. When I start asking, when I give the instructions, you'll get in. Just stick around. So red team now in a position where they might be able to get one of these objectives off the map there. They need to be, setting up these poke and pick situations a little bit more. Their front line is very beefy right now. 0KS and Mr. Entropy are very large bodies. Sandman is the man. She's going to pick up this red buff here. Dragon will be spawning in roughly 140, or 145, so that should be our next point of contention for these two teams. It looks like red team's got a ward in the pit, blue team's got a pink ward in the dimple brush, but they don't have actual vision of the dragon itself. That might end up coming to bite them if they're not careful. Dunk Prophecy ends up switching up the build. And he says, you know what, let me get this Glacial Shroud and some cooldown reduction. He might be going to, I don't know what he's going to be picking up here. Not sure what that second Ruby Crystal is for. I imagine he wants a Spirit Visage, but I can't be 100% sure. Alright, so blue team just defending their mid lane push here. They don't have anyone to... They don't have the engage that they want right now. It looks like this poke from Kog'Maw is really going to add up over time. And they're honestly in a point in the game where Kog'Maw isn't that strong yet. Once he starts getting a little bit more items, those those R's will really chunk very hard. We've seen it in pro play many times. So they've got to watch their back. Uh-oh. Sandman is the man, gets caught out where he's not supposed to be, gets bursted down immediately. Collateral damage used to pick up that last hit on that kill. Now Sheriff Wyatt looking to just knock over this turret in the mid lane. So flame, no fame. Actually, Hook comes out from Dunkaroonies. He will not dash in. Sheriff Wyatt were really ready to react there. Mr. Entropy actually gets caught up with a cocoon, not able to finish his his QW combo. Looks like Red Team just picks up yet another kill on Dunkaroonies and will continue forward with this turret push. Looking to get additional damage on this inhibitor. Hook comes out, doesn't land onto So Flame, no fame, and actually Red Team opts to not take this damage on the turret and to go right ahead and secure a safe dragon take, knowing that So Flame, no fame is too low to really join in any sort of skirmish there. 0KS found in the brush by Dunk Prophecy. He throws out the bear stands, but not willing to continue the chase into the potentially rest of the Red Team there, so he just backs up and goes back to safety. Dunk Prophecy in the mid lane. Just clearing out the minions there. Right now, the minion lead is very far in Barracon's favor. 178 minions at the 21-minute mark, so he's doing a decent job of keeping his minion count up while participating in a lot of these sieges and fights. Just dropping down those living artilleries and clearing out these waves safely. Does not want to put himself in a position where he can get picked off. Alright, 0KS getting that farm differential nice and widened up in the top lane, sitting out above Dunk Prophecy about 10. Oh my goodness, good headbutt there. Mr. Entropy just knocking Dunkaroonies over the wall to deny the lantern take from Sandman as the man. He actually ended up queuing past the lantern there, and that bought Mr. Entropy just enough time to deny him getting over the wall. Alright. So blue team in a little bit of a sticky situation here. They're definitely losing their gold lead, and they don't really have a solution on how to get to this Kog'Maw. It feels like Vi's not really willing to dive the back of the line right now because she doesn't feel as tanky as she wants to be versus against the amount of damage that Red can put out at the moment. And they're slowly falling farther and farther behind just because of this farm differential that's growing and growing in the mid lane. And even top lane's farmed its way back into the game as well. So they really need to make some aggressive plays if they're going to stay in this game and have a chance. Because once again, Red Team can scale pretty well. Blue Team scales awesomely too, but I feel like both these comps are pretty gold dependent, and since Red Team's in the lead right now in terms of gold, they definitely have a pretty heavy advantage at the moment. Sandman looking for the potential engage over the wall. Can't quite go for this, but he definitely wants his chickens. 0KS finds out Wizard. A couple auto attacks are going down on him. Third strike actually lands good condemn into the corner of the wall there. Sheriff Wyatt in position to really dash that wall. And buckshot collateral damage this Vayne in the face. Red Team all stacked up, all grouped up, looking for the potential pick. Hook actually comes out from Dunkaroonies, and Barracon responds with that Void Ooze. Red team's now leaving the area. They realized that they were standing on a ward there, and they're just going to get themselves out of there. Kind of leaving Barracon behind by himself, but luckily blue team was not in position to really react to that mispositioning. Up on the top side of the map, Dunk Prophecy was pushing that lane in, and he got a turret down for his team before ZeroKS could respond, because he was all the way on the bottom end of the map with no TP. Kog'Maw under the turret by himself. That Void Ooze chunks a ton, and they still end up picking up the turret, but they lose a bunch of health while doing it. Dragon's going to be up in roughly 2 minutes, but that's enough to get back to base, reset, and reposition, and get your wards down. Sandman is the man is looking for a potential pick, but he ends up once again walking into the entirety of the enemy team. He is 0-6-1 in this match. He's kept his farm up, but honestly, his lack of presence on the map after these picks is opening up these lanes to getting these turrets pushed down. They've got to get these wards under control to prevent these picks from happening. That or just group up as their four-man squad and let the Zootier keep splitting top lane. If he can't get these top lane splits down, there's no reason for him to be up there. This mid lane turret is under fire. Janna ulti going down to keep the healing up. Mr. Entropy is hooked into the turret, but he pops his ulti to reduce a huge amount of this damage. Walking forward now, actually headbutts Dunk Prophecy back out of the battle, tanking up the damage from Wizard. Third strike actually lands and takes him out on the back end of the fight. Sheriff Wyatt ducks over to the side, looking for the kill on the Vayne. Won't find a cocoon, lands on the Sheriff White, actually gets completely bursted out by So Flame No Fame. Mr. Wizard is completely untouched here, and blue team will walk away. Low health bars on Dunk Runes and Dunk Prophecies, but they're just going to end up cleaning up the kills there. Almost 4-for-0, but ending up 3-for-0. Alright, Dragon has spawned. Dunk Prophecy definitely wants eyes on it. He's walking forward. He has that Righteous Glory finished up, and it looks like he's going to go for a Frozen Heart next. Righteous Glory popped, looking for Sheriff Wyatt. Bear stance. He gets the slow. He gets hit by a living artillery. He's going to take a bit of damage here and knocked up by Mr. Entropy. Can he get the lantern? Can't get it. Actually gets taken out by the entirety of Red Team there, but his team does end up picking that dragon up. That's 2 dragons under their belt, which they're going to be able to use to have a little bit of turret damage. Not quite the movement speed just yet. Knock up in the mid lane. Mr. Entropy just looking to clear out this wave there. This mid lane inhibitor appears to be their next objective. Once again, it's a 4v5 in total on the map. I don't think the blue team knows that Kog'Maw is over on the bottom side. He will show himself while he goes to clear out this wave unless he living artillery is outside of vision in order to clear it up. Now he's going to walk into vision there. This is the opportunity that blue team has to actually get a decent engage down and get some damage done. Pings are going out to actually be very, very careful. Going over a ward. Looking for Alistar potentially at the blue buff. And now they're looking for a fight. Mr. Entropy running through actual turret range on the top side of the map to take the shortest path out of there. Dunk Prophecy looking for the potential kill. Good headbutt. Not going to be enough. Gets stunned in place. Ulti popped. Stunned up by the cocoon now. And now this looks to be the end of Mr. Entropy's life. This is very troubling as blue team has fantastic Baron taking potential. Sandman is the man, jumps in on ZeroKS, hook backwards. Dunk Prophecy zoning off the Hurricane. Can't quite get him away from ZeroKS though, and he will go down. Barracon actually takes out Wizard on the back end of the fight. Barracon walking out here. Dunk Prophecy looking for the engage. Pops Righteous Glory, closes up the distance between Barracon with that flash bear stun, and now the Hurricane around the corner is forced to disengage. Blue Blue team in a position where honestly they have enough vision that they could safely take out a Baron, considering the amount of damage that Dunk Prophecy can put out, along with Sandman as the man, and honestly no flame, or yeah, so flame, no fame. Those Spiderlings, when you build full AP, do a decent chunk. In fact, let's go ahead and take a look at how much damage these Spiderlings will do per auto. 66 damage per auto, and she produces, I think, 4 Spiderlings at this point in the game? 3 Spiderlings, something like that. So, good damage being able to be done there. Oh my goodness, look at that. Alright, so all champions are now up on the map. No dragon to be had for a couple minutes, it looks like. Baron is probably the next objective that is in the forefront of these guys' minds, and they need to be very careful as they can end up in a huge team fight there if they're not careful. Red team has great poke potential there in that pit, but honestly, there's huge pick potential on this blue side squad. So if they do catch out one of these immobile guys, they will be dead in a matter of seconds. Probably more like 1 or maybe even a half a second. Alright, so red team looking like they're mostly grouped up here in the mid lane. Blue team doesn't really want to go for too much of an engage because their Vayne is still in the bottom lane. Not sure if they realize that. Vayne is now recalling rather than running to the mid lane. She apparently has some sort of item that she can finish. Looks like it's probably going to be that last Whisper. Picks it up. But this poke damage is enormous. Blue team just needs to be careful. Not just be careful, but honestly consider going back to base before they set up this next team fight. You've got 2 guys who are down 30% HP. Top lane Udyr is going to get the split push down. Now he's going for the split push, but he doesn't have any ward coverage. Typically what you would want is to upgrade your trinket to a regular warding trinket so you have a huge amount of vision advantage while going up there. But he does not have that finished, so he's just taking the risk. He's going to read the map as well as he can, and hopefully his squad over in the base can protect this inhibitor before, as he tries to get this top lane in him. Mr. Entropy is up in the base though, ready to defend. Hook goes out, actually lands on the Nurking. Cocoon goes wide. Nurking gets bursted low anyway. Burst comes out from Sheriff White, and he picks up a kill immediately on So Flame No Fame. Hook comes out onto Wizard. Wizard might go down here. They actually have the stealth detection. Sheriff White is able to just shoot Wizard in the face and pick up that kill fairly easily. Could that be the game? They've got decent minions here in the base coming through, but it looks like it's not going to be enough to even get one turret down, as there's still guys up for their squad, and so red team's going to back up, take that free lane pressure out of that using the super minions, and maybe rotate over to another lane. Preferably this bottom lane so that their top lane... actually, no, preferably the top lane so Udyr doesn't have the opportunity to be around the Baron pit if a Baron were to spawn. Or a Baron attempt were to spawn, you know, if they decide to go for the Baron, whatever. Alright. Red team. Good push on their part. Dragon is spawning in 1 second and is up. They have vision on it, so they know what's going down. The icon has just appeared on the map, and they should have the timer because I think that they were the last team to get one. Though I'm not quite sure. Why am I still on him? Take me to... direct to camera mode. Dunkarooni's in trouble now. 0KS and Mr. Entropy looking for the kill. Good flash after dropping that box will slow them down quite a bit. Ghost doesn't quite make contact. Dunkarooni's looking for the hook. Catches Mr. Entropy. It's going to be a triangle hook there as 0KS goes in as well. Wizard completely protected here by his front line. Gets good damage down and immediately turns for this dragon buff. Dunkarooni's and Sandman as the man are chasing it. Don't need to. Dash over the wall with the Vault Breaker combined with the Smite is going to pick up that nice and easy. Blue team slowly trying to earn this advantage back. They need to be aware of their base though, because there are super minions in the mid lane pushing down into their base. They have to clear those out and make sure that They don't lose any Nexus turrets for this. Dunk Prophecy and Sandman are considering going to take this Baron, but there's full vision here. They don't have any sweepers on it. Sheriff Wyatt knows that this is going on. He's got his ulti. He throws down a huge amount of damage, and Wizard actually gets taken very low. He won't quite burn down. Barracan is looking to try to land a Luden's Echo proc to actually pick up that last kill, but can't quite find this team. And now it's going to be Red Team is attempting the Baron. Blue Team loses top lane turret due to mismanaged side waves, and they're too low to respond to this Baron buff. A very, very risky call for Blue Team ends up landing them in a tough situation. So Flame, no fame goes in and actually dies, trading his life for Kog'Maws. But it's not going to be enough to stop this Baron attempt. Sandman is the man, is on the other side of the wall. He gets found out, knocked up by the ulti from Nautilus. He wants to try to get in there, can't quite get it, but now he's on the back end of the pit, doesn't want to be there. Sheriff White gets stunned up by the Condemn, can't quite find the kill as he gets the buckshot completely dodged out. Wizard is using the stealth just so well to get as much damage down as he can. I don't know if he can finish off this kill. Good stun from Doug Harvey, keeps him alive for a second longer, but the Tiger Stance proc picks up the kill on 0KS. Now they're chasing out Mr. Entropy. He wants to try to get a pulverize, but Dunk Prophecy is now standing in front of him. He knows he can't get out of the situation. He's just going to stand here and laugh a little bit, headbutt out, and then get the pulverize. But he can't get out of that one there. And all of those Baron buffs go to waste immediately. Even Kog'Maw came up a second too late. So he does not have that buff on him. Right, Barracan once again picking up his blue buff, so he's going to use that to just spam away on these living artilleries. I think his tears been stacked for quite a while now. He really needs to get that turned into an Archangel Staff and then a Seraph's Embrace. Team clearing out a little bit of vision. We still have a little bit of time up on this inhibitor here, so that's not quite recharged yet. Salmon is the man getting this red buff. Cocoon and Hook actually go wide on the Narcan, moving a little bit too quick for them to hit that one. 0KS walks forward, flay backwards into the rest of the team. Good percent damage lands on from So Flame, no fame. Pull backwards from Dunkaroonies, and he will go down. Blue does not quite extend to the rest of Blue Team, and that pick will mean that Red Team has to be a bit more cautious and can't quite push in for this middle lane inhibitor like they would originally have preferred. Red Team's in a sticky situation though, because they don't have a good sieging comp. They want to go for these turrets, but it's very risky for them to get close to these towers because of what I said before at Champ Select. Red Team can pick their fights very, very easily with their Nautilus ulti and their disengage potential that they've got on Alistar, on their Narcan, on Janna. So they've got to be careful at where they try to go. It looks like they're going aggressive. Talisman of Ascension gets popped, but they don't decide to go for anything here. Sandman is in range of these living artilleries, but it looks like Barracan's really looking for the squishies on the back end of the fight. Those are the targets to hit. Dunkaroonies almost lands a hook on Sheriff Wyatt. Dunk Prophecy's in the middle of the mix there, but can't quite find the damage he's looking for. Wizard walks forward. He hasn't popped his ulti yet. He's just looking for some damage. Collateral damage has been used from Sheriff Wyatt, so that is down, and the box as well from Dunkaroonies. Those two ultis will not be back up for a few seconds. And Dragon will be spawning in 1 minute. Red Team aggressively walking forward. They've got their big boys in front, ready to knock aside and lock up anyone who they catch out so their backline can support with their damage. Top side of the map, Dunk Prophecy just using this small window of opportunity to clear out this wave and maybe set it to push forward. Hook lands onto Mr. Entropy from Dunkarooni's. Flay backwards. Good cocoon lands into Sheriff Wyatt, but they can't capitalize. Sandman as the man goes in. The Dunk Prophecy is not part of this fight. Zero KS zones out Vayne with his ulti. The Sheriff Wyatt ends up picking up the kill on Sandman as the man. Good kiting backwards from Red Team. Forces Vi into the middle of a fight where no one really joined her there. Since Dunk Prophecy wasn't in the mix yet, he couldn't dive into the enemy team with her. Sandman as the man ends up going in and dying alone while the rest of his timid team watches him die in a flame of glory. In a blaze of glory, actually. Hook goes out, lands on 0KS, a little bit of a fillet backwards. Condemn actually into the wall there, keeps him locked up for a substantial amount of time. This true damage is doing huge work there. Heal is forced to be popped there. Red Team doesn't lose any guys while picking up a kill on So Flame No Fame. And it looks like they're once again going to pick up that middle lane inhibitor and then rotate over to this dragon buff. They're going to get the second buff from this one that's going to give them that turret killing potential, which they've already been doing a very good job on focusing on. And this will accelerate that lead a little bit more. Bottom lane's getting significantly pushed in by a large minion wave, so they do need to pay attention to that and make sure that they don't lose a large amount of turret pressure there. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. Big minion waves here, and they're going to go ahead and clear that out just a bit. Sheriff White critting on almost every single auto attack here. Jeez. The 75% crit? 35 and 20, so 55% crit. Still flipping the coin very, very well there. Dunk Prophecy and Sandman find the red buff. Mr. Entropy gets caught out a little bit in his own jungle. Barakon shows up and gets good poke down. Sandman and this man is in some danger. The second Living Artillery doesn't land. He's forced to pop his barrier and his flash to get out of the fight. Living Artillery can't quite close the gap. It looks like Vayne just bounces Alistar back. Oh my goodness, the amount of chunking that's coming out from that Void is enormous. Sheriff Wyatt throws down the collateral damage on Buckshot to get some AoE down, but it's not enough to actually pick anyone off. Dunk Prophecy takes another Living Artillery. Why did that anchor not pull Nautilus in when it blatantly made contact with that wall? Very, very strange. And now Blue Team in a position where they can force forward a bit more. Baron's up in 35. Blue Team tried to go for a super risky Baron last time. Honestly, they're not bad at taking the Baron, but they've got to do it as a full force. You forgot the crit on the mastery pages. Some more than what you said. Oh, you mean rune pages? I think the anchor was literally a pixel short. Yeah, I don't know. It looked like it made contact. Wall hit detection is kind of weird in this game. Hook lands once again on 0KS, flay backwards to the rest of the team. Dunkaroonies is doing a good job of zoning. He hasn't dropped the box yet to actually keep him in place. They're just going to pick him off without it. Sheriff Wyatt now has this Banshee's Veil finished up. Dunk Prophecy and the rest of Blue immediately go for this Baron, but they've got to be careful because this Kog'Maw can chunk them down so quickly with these living artilleries. You got to get out of that pit, dude. Get out of the pit, man. You're going to die in here if you're not careful. Blue Team does end up getting the Baron, but will they die here? Sheriff Wyatt getting some significant damage down. No pressure on him. Exhaust goes down. It's going to be Wizard who actually picks him up there. Mr. Entropy just on top of this Vayne. Can't quite close out the gap, though. Living Artillery from the back end. Barakon trying to find Vayne through that Fog of War. Can't quite get it. Dunkarooni's looking for a potential hook. Vayne actually healing up here. Barakon's got to be careful. Mr. Entropy's too low to really do any significant peeling for him. He's actually healing up a huge amount with this double lifesteal build. Red Team minions are actually forcing through the enemy base. These super minions might be able to take down this Nexus turret. They've got good auto techs going through. Vayne shows up. He needs to condemn that minion backwards. Oh, no. Actually does get the Nexus tower. So that's one more tower that goes down for Red Team. They no longer need, two waves of super minions to push that effectively. They can do it easily on one wave. Stretch, what's up with the sudden surge of AP mid ADCs? Runeglaive. Yes, George P. Burdell, a.k.a. the Doyen, is correct. Runeglaive Ezreal is the hotness right now. Does a lot of damage, and it's got a whole lot of a non-committal play style, is what I'll go with saying. People love playing champions like Jace, Nidalee, Ezreal, Varus. Things that they don't ever have to commit to a fight that they might not win. They love to just poke from the outside and not go in. And Ezreal offers that sort of playstyle in a high damage burst on low cooldowns. Right, red team setting up for this next dragon. They want that movement speed bonus, but blue team is not going to let them have it that easily, I don't think. Uh-oh, Wizard is forward, clearing out this minion wave. The inhibitor for blue team will be coming up in a second. So red team is completely out of those super minions. Dunk Prophecy goes in, gets the stun on 0K, starts bursting him down, just shredding that armor wave with that Black Cleaver. Sheriff White gets a good collateral damage and buckshot combo, and Mr. Entropy is in the middle of the enemy team getting so much damage and work done while guarding that Kog'Maw. Kog'Maw is just walking past Dunkaroonies. That support is just not threatening enough to really stop him from getting this quadra kill. And Kog'Maw goes up huge once again. Oh my goodness. Barracan knows his mid lane gameplay so well. Oh man, you can ban out his Anivia. But did you know about his Kog'Maw? Did you know? I didn't know about it. His Kog'Maw just went through. It went deep. Red team going to go ahead and close out the game here in an honorable fashion. And make sure we can get on to the next one. Right, so let's go ahead and go into some post-game talking points here. I want to talk on something. Early game was dominated completely and utterly by Dunk Prophecy in the top lane. We saw that for sure. He got the early kill on the second wave of minions onto 0KS, and then extended that already early lead into the jungle by just walking in and looking for Alistar at his red buff. Alistar had the mindset to ward that brush, which is what saved his life there. Otherwise, he would have gone down immediately. But he definitely set himself up for success in the top lane. Problem with that, he didn't have enough farm to get tanky enough to start roaming mid and shutting down Kog'Maw. Like I said, he's going to the key to the victory on blue side was to get the roam down as quickly as possible. They have fantastic champions at showing up in another lane and just getting the roam done. He didn't make it happen there. Unfortunately, it didn't really cost him the game, but it didn't really... There was potential there that wasn't accessed. So that did a little bit contribute to that loss. Unfortunately, SoFlame No Fame wasn't able to get the huge advantage that we saw him get in a lot of his previous AP mid Elise games. Barracan just is fantastic, from what I can tell, at managing his mana, managing his cooldowns, and just farming safely and clearing waves very easily. So you gotta make sure that if you see this guy in the game, like the strat can't be to ban him out. It's just gotta be to like pay attention to his lane and make sure things aren't going too south. So well played on red team's part there, but blue team definitely had some opportunities they didn't tap into. For example, because Kog'Maw was clearing out mid lane so effectively, there were probably many times where Elise could have showed up top lane, landed stun on Nautilus, dove him immediately, set up a deeper advantage for top lane. But even though I'm saying that, but that top lane turret was down at 8 minutes, so that farm potential on Nautilus was kind of gone. But either way, I don't know, there's just a lot of potential that wasn't tapped into. I want to see this damage breakdown, because I think Kog'Maw did, like, enormous. Yeah, once again, Barracan just shatters everyone else's damage.